Greetings and welcome back to Pilates Chakras Tarot. We are at the beginning or the top of the month of December, and we have started our week off with our chakra focus, where the throat chakra, the fifth chakra, has a reappearance. Spirit is not done with us in the way of our throat chakra, and I've kind of been pondering and dwelling on the reasoning for the throat chakra and the reappearance. And as I mentioned in the previous video, clearly there's some work still need to be done. There's some healing that needs to be done, some blockages that need to be unblocked, if you will, making a clear pathway from the base of the chakra all the way to the crown. As we're ascending the totem, the chakra totem, we have to be in, the chakras have to be oscillating energetically in a healthy manner. So as I've dwelled in the reasoning for us to revisit the throat chakra, it is clear with the first card that came out, it doesn't specifically say throat chakra, as is this card on the right. And this is from the card on the right that says throat chakra is from the Psychic Tarot deck. And this was the clarification card on what we need to, what is really underlying or the underpinning of the chakra card that came out for our week. And the attribute, the spiritual attribute of honesty is where we need to focus. So that's all about truth, sincerity, honesty, transparency in the way of communication. So that's really a honed in message from Spirit, from the divine, that lets us know that we need to be honest, sincere, and transparent when we're communicating. And it could be through listening, through speaking, it could be your body language, energetically. There is no there's no hiding from the divine. So you can feel it within yourself, and so can a divine. When you're being, when you're being dishonest, or we know when we're being dishonest. I'm not going to pinpoint specific you, but it is a message for I, you, and we. So we need to make sure that we are being stewards of honesty, okay, when it comes to the way of Spirit. So it is a clear message. And in addition to us clarifying that with throat chakra card again yesterday, the sadness and isolation came out to double solidify the message. Now this makes it a little bit more zeroed in on what it is that we are experiencing when we're being dishonest. And first, let me say this. If you are not true to yourself, there's no way you can be true to others. So if you're not living in truth, you're only going to attract low vibration, low polarity situations and circumstances into your microcosm, right? And the whole idea is that we are magnifying expansion, abundance, and peace and love in a broad brush sense. So we want to move out of this place of darkness. And again, I use the analogy of the lotus flower. The lotus flower begins to bloom and seed in murky water. So we want to come up out of the murky waters. We want to resurrect, like the image in this picture. There's an orb of light around her, and she's reaching up towards the ether, you know, to kind of signify that there's help, there is support from our ancestors, from our spirit guides, from the divine. It's all about the subjectivity, okay? Are you going to alienate yourself from spirit? Continue to alienate yourself from spirit? Because the more you're dishonest, the more you alienate yourself. Alternative facts is a real thing, but it's still not true. It's not the truth. And when we're not living in truth, we continue to perpetuate a lifestyle of sadness and isolation. So I just wanted to kind of leave that there as far as the throat chakra goes. I don't think we need to touch on it anymore. The divine has zeroed us in on what exactly is happening in the fifth chakra, which is keeping us in bondage, keeping us in our lower polarity, because you have to, you know, you have the functionality to speak. You have you can listen, all right, unless you're mute. But you still have a form of communication there. And I do want to touch on that too. When you're voluntarily mute, that is an imbalance. That's not being balanced. All right? Silence is consent. Silence can be contrite. Being mute is contrite when you know what the actual truth is and you're acting out of dishonesty. So again, that's zeroed in. So just some things to think about. It's all subjective, so it is a choice. We have free will, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to offer anything now but encouragement is to really delve deep and ask yourself those important questions. Am I being honest and sincere? Or am I in a place of pain? Because she really does look like that she's in pain. She almost looks like she's been crying because she feels that separation between the ether and that selfishness. So she has the key. She can unlock the doorway, open it up, and purge anything that she needs to be transparent about, okay? Or just setting herself free. Because it's not always about someone else, but if someone has to be on the receiving end, all right? And that could just be everywhere, or anyone that this person comes in contact with, all right? So be encouraged. But now is the time. We're in the top of December. We're in a season of high vibration. Christmas brings about that high vibration because it's a season of light. It's a season of cheer, joy that we should be experiencing. And we want to experience this in an absolute state as opposed to a relative state. You know, can you absolutely say that you are feeling joy and happiness at this time? And time is of the essence because this has been a profound year, but as we end the year, it is something that is really going to challenge us. We are moving into a planetary alignment that we haven't experienced, or this planet hasn't experienced in 800 years, where all the planets will be lining up in a straight line to the sun. So go figure. You can do your research. and just try, use your critical thinking on what that may be like. But it will be an unveiling for each and every one. No one is exempt. So we have the opportunity to come out of this sadness and isolation with spirit, because it's with no one else but yourself and your God. Okay? As within, so without. The law of correspondence. All right. I'm not going to belabor that point. So we did not get to the birth number 1 because yesterday was December 1st and we're at December 2nd now. So we are going to pull numerology for the birth number 1, and then we're going to pull for birth number 2 as well. And it's very appropriate because 1 and 2 are complete opposites, but they're harmonious in that the number 1 is the planet or the house of the sun, and the number 2 is the house of the moon. An equal degree of polarity, the sun and the moon. So they complement each other, they are harmonious, and this is a very, it's not a coincidence, it's just that I know it is how spirit works. It's intentional for me to be bringing a message for both birth number 1 and birth number 2. So those of us that are born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, and the 28th of any month, this is a message for you. And that would be the house of the sun. Okay? And the period that marks this especially productive would be the days of the week, Sunday and Monday. Okay? Now, for those of you with the birth number 2, that's for those of you who are born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th. And the days of the week that marks your birth number, and especially important message or important day to plan, is Sunday, Monday, and Friday, as Venus rules the moon. So that's why Friday has been added in as an additional day of the week for those of you that are born on the 1st and the 2nd. And then, of course, the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, the 28th, and the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th. All right, and that's the house of the sun and the moon. So look at what house your the sun and the moon falls in for you on your birth chart, and maybe there's even more messages for you in the area that you need to focus on. If it's family, career, if it's a social house, delve deeper into that and see what may be significant there. All right, so I'm gonna pull a card. I may pull 3 cards. We'll see, because the message is gonna come through for all of those days, all of those numbers. Okay. So Spirit, please do give us a numerology message for those individuals that are born in the house of the sun, house of the moon, birth numbers 1, 10, 19, 28, and number 2, number 11, number 20, and number 29. And so it is. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, first card out is intuition. Oh, and this is a master number, number 22. This is all about your psychic abilities. A lot of you have that intuition that mastery, or you're working on mastering your psychic abilities. And those of you who may be surprised by this card, it's time to listen to your intuition. Don't worry about what is happening outside of your microcosm. It's time to establish that relationship within, to intuit those things that don't serve us, or those things that do serve us, and are especially meant for us. There are spirits, there are synchronicities in your life that will ground this message and solidify this message for you in the way of your intuition and really working on the mastery here. And those of you who are familiar with the number 22, you are on that path. You're truly on the path, and we all need to jump on this path. It's one of purity, honor. If you are delving into your life path numbers, your numerology, this is one of honor, nobility, number 22, intuition. We may read it. All right, let's do another card. Spirituality, number 77. We've got a lot of double digits here. So number 77, spirituality, it doesn't mean religion. It's non-denominational. And a lot of us are delving into what true spirituality is. If you are on this page, you are on that journey of seeking a relationship spiritually. Put these here. I just realized that. Look, I got me a little stand. So nonetheless, working on our spirituality, not necessarily having to be religious, but just connecting with oneness. Number 77. All right, I'm gonna do a third one. Music. Oh, this is definitely a profound message. Just in addition to, as it relates to the fifth chakra, music is part of the fifth chakra. It is sound. That vibration of sound that creates. And music a lot of times can be very healing. It can be used for meditation. And as I see it in the frame here, it's almost like it's lit up in yellow. It's that star at the top of your Christmas tree or a Christmas tree. Yeah, rising above, elevating, ascending into our spirituality, our relationship with spirit through sound, through music. There's so many paths to oneness. There's so many paths to truth, and music is definitely in alignment. And so in affirming that, we want to affirm you can affirm the mantra, I live in true alignment with spirit. I live in true alignment with spirit. I live in true alignment with spirit. As I intuit the guidance, the messages that I receive, my relationship with spirit, with the universe, with the life force, with God, and through music, through sound. I love listening to different frequencies. especially at night in a meditative state. 432 hertz, that's one of love. 528 is one that helps to change up the DNA. So that's more of a miraculous frequency. But I love that because there's a lot of trauma. We've experienced a lot up until this point if we've been on this planet. You know, if we're here, we've experienced trauma. And I mentioned in the previous video about the 4 sufferings of life, which is birth, sickness, aging, and death. And we've experienced all but the last one, which is death. But anytime that we're experiencing the first 3, there is some trauma there. We're all having to heal at moments in time in our lives. And you can use the 528 to help you unravel any of that murkiness, the sadness and isolation. We can do it through sound, living our lives in truth and being in alignment with spirit. And so it is. So that is the message for us. And I look forward to seeing you guys to finish off the week. So tomorrow is December 3rd. And we will come back with the numerology message for those of you that are born on the 3rd, the number 3, 12, 21, and the 30th. And we'll talk a little bit more about the number 3 because the number 3 is a series and it harmonizes with 3, 6, and 9. So we may talk about that a little bit more. But that is our message. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to having you guys return. And we will have a meditation at the end of the week to finish off our throat chakra. And I know that we are victorious in becoming honest, integral, and sincere individuals, changing our lifestyles, affecting our lives and lifestyle in a very positive way. And so it is. Thank you. Peace.